I got a great Google contract in 2015, and I started to make all kinds of money. I paid off all my gambling debts. I owed $1.4 million at the time. I had been broke for about 20 years. I started to make some great money. In 2019, I developed an app platform that replaces all of the snail mail between the casino and the player. And I still believe in this product.
I do too.
Nobody else believes in it.
I believe in it.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah.
You're the first casino executive who ever said that they believe in it. So not only does it fill that void, but think about it. It picks up all the data eventually of every gambler in the United States. So now you have a database for an opening situation like, and I'm not going to go into this, but like the Fontainebleau opened with no database. So now they would have had access to millions of players had I been successful 2 years ago when I started this. So I started promoting it 2 years ago, and in order to promote it, I started doing social media because the person that I was working with, I didn't feel like they were doing a great job. So I got out on the road on February 1st, 2022, and I started talking to the people. I went live on TikTok. I had 1,000 followers, and it just grew and grew and grew. 2022, I ended the year with about 80,000 followers, and then 2023, I really applied myself to it. And my girlfriend was not really 100% behind it, but one night we were in bed, and we got a message from the Win, social media, and that was it. She turned on a dime.
When was that?
That was about 4 months, 3-4 months ago.
Yeah.
And they invited me to
It's when you turned the corner.
It's when I turned the corner.
4 to 6 months ago. Even back in the late 90s, you were a gambler. You weren't a Vegas fan. Now you're covering Vegas.
Oh, no. Every single article about anything related to gambling or Las Vegas, I read it. Whether it was the financials, whether it was the people. Hey, look, I knew about you in 2010, 2011 because I read about Carl Icahn selling off the furniture from the unfinished Fontainebleau and selling it to Jonathan Jossel at the Plaza in downtown. And I had been to the Plaza in 1987. I played penny slots here.
Wow.
So in my mind, I never met you. I had no idea what you looked like. I had no idea who you were. But from there, I want you to know who I am. From there, I went right to Tavares Group. I went right to the owners of
Tamara's.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I went right to Tamara's Group.
Yeah.
I read all about who they are, how they got their start. And I had all the information about this place. I knew it was built in 1971. I knew it was the largest hotel casino in the world when it was built.
But why? You could gamble in every state but 2. In 48 states, you could gamble in. Why Vegas? You can gamble anywhere. By the way, it's a trivia question I often ask on this podcast.
I'm passionately sucking up the information about the town.
Yeah.
Because that gets me back where I need to be in the 4, 5, 6 weeks in between my actual gambling trips to Atlantic City. At the time, there was just Atlantic City and Las Vegas. So I'm filling in every single day of my life with Las Vegas information. If you think about news and gambling news, now 20% of the information was from Atlantic City. 10% was from Connecticut when they opened up Connecticut. I read about the guy they went to 54 banks at Foxwoods, and they finally got money from the guy who now owns Genting, Malaysia.
Yeah.
They finally got money from him. They went to 54 banks. I'm reading every single article that I can possibly read, but 80% of it is Vegas information.
Got it.
So that's why. And whenever I could get out here, I got out here. But when you're living week to week and you're broke and you can't pay your mortgage, getting out to Vegas. I didn't come to Vegas. 2010, I came here. I didn't get back again until Memorial Day weekend of 2017, at which point I had a couple $100,000 in the bank. Came out here with Anne Marie. I stayed at the Wynn.
Anne Marie's your girlfriend, too?
No, Anne Marie's my ex-wife.
Oh, okay.
So I came out here with my ex-wife, Anne Marie, who loves gambling.
Okay.
And I got back in the scene again. So here I am. This is the Mecca.
No, it absolutely is, and you and I both share that love for Las Vegas.
Yeah.
It's not the only thing that we have in common today. We are both wearing turtletnecks.
We are.
Not many people wear turtlenecks.
You know what? It's very comfortable, and
and it's cold.
And it's cold out.
I didn't get the memo.
Why are you not wearing a turtleneck?
I didn't know about this.
It's embarrassing. Okay, I want to ask you how you monetize it, but a guy called Ross Mollison said the smartest thing about the Sphere that I've heard yet, because everyone was saying it's going to go bust, it can't possibly ever make money. And he said maybe all of that's true, but it's easy to be a critic and say something's not going to do well.
Right.
Let me tell you this. It could become something that everybody in the world sees and says, I have to see that in person. And so far, that is exactly what I'm seeing.
What's happening.
And I'm hearing people are coming here just because they want to see this thing. And
right.
once they get into that thing, I heard Elon Musk talking about it the other day, saying it was it's a modern marvel. It's a spectacle. You have to see it. When you hear people talking about it, it could become a must-see. Now, they've got to obviously get more content in there. There's a movie about saving the planet in a building that was probably not that efficient to build.
Right.
But that's just an irony. But
it's very, if I could just speak for that on 30 seconds, social media is very interesting in that I'm actually told by the interest level, by the number of people who watch things, by the number of people who finish my videos. I get the exact data as to who finishes. I'm actually told by the general public what excites them. Yeah. For instance, and I'll give you this information, it doesn't matter. Lobster, right? If you said to me, Vegas Police, what should I do here at the Plaza if I could do one restaurant? The unlimited lobster buffet at the Palms is killing it. All people want to see is unlimited eating of lobster in social media.
Yeah.
So I already know that if you were to open an unlimited lobster buffet here, boom.
What about an oyster bar?
The oyster bar's killing it too. Why do they limit the seats to 9 seats over there at the station?
Yeah.
Why is that a limited seating? I don't understand.
There's not an oyster bar in downtown. Wink, nudge.
Seafood, lobster, it's killing it on social media.
All right, so you mentioned you made $2,500 from that video.
Yes.
Do you monetize your casino comp wallet?
No, I can't monetize the casino comp wallet on Instagram, but on TikTok, they started something called the Creativity Beta Program. So they pay me, I get paid right now 1 penny for every 20 views over 6 seconds. So I make, like for instance, I did a video the other day of the 23 acres that was bought up by the tribal people in North Dakota. So that I've already made, I want to say I made like $700 from that video. Did really great with that. I don't know why.
Why not do YouTube? Don't you make more money on YouTube?
I have the world's worst ADHD, and that involves long form. And I have no producers, and I have no support, and it's just me out there with my phones, just acting the fool. Really.
You're not monetizing on YouTube right now?
All of my personal thoughts are on YouTube, and people are like, well, you're using this wrong. And I'm like, but I need a place to vent. So I have 5,500 followers on YouTube, people that really want to get into my mind, because I believe my truth right there on YouTube. I tell them exactly how I feel, exactly what I'm doing, exactly what's going on, and it's all there.
All right.
For him, it's nothing.
So are there any other of the influencers or YouTubers or Instagrammers or TikTokers that you look up to that you think they do a good job?
I love Keith Lee, but not for the reason that everybody else does. This is why I love Keith Lee. I watched him for a while. I don't do food. That's the other thing. When Keith Lee went to Atlanta, and he was subjected to that level of abuse that he got at Atlanta. And now you can go on YouTube and you can watch Keith Lee Goes to Atlanta. And he did not break stride. It reminded me of the time that Jay-Z got kicked in the elevator. I know you guys may or may not have seen that video, because there was something going on between him and Beyonce. And he didn't break stride. When I see someone go to a city like Keith Lee and take that level of abuse and come out of it just never, ever like getting emotional, because I'm not that guy. If I went to Atlanta and they treated me like that, I'd be crying like a little girl. So I went back and I really looked at Keith Lee and I said to myself, of course he was able to go to Atlanta and be 1,000% because he's an MMA trained fighter. He's used to getting kicked in the face. He's used to getting choked. He's used to getting kicked in the groin.
Excuse my ignorance. Is he a local influencer?
Yes, and he's the biggest by far. And he does food. Keith Lee. And he just blows restaurants up, this, that, the other thing. Like most of the people know who he is. He's fantastic. Jose the Taco Guy, I love him, but now he's my partner. So Jose,
what do you mean? You invested in the taco shop?
Right. I'm in the taco shop with Jose the Taco Guy.
The guy that you keep showing the big piece of meat and he's going to run out. That guy.
And we hit capacity.
What do you mean? What do you mean you're a partner? You invested in it, or he made you a partner?
No. So what happened was they came to me and they said, "Look, this is El Güero. He makes this incredible al pastor taco." So I go to El Güero's house. The guy was so motivated to be in business. And this is a great American story. He's so motivated to be in business. He put a restaurant in his backyard. Now, I don't know if anybody's ever seen the movie MASH. Have you ever seen the movie MASH or the television show MASH?
Yeah.
That looks like it's a war zone. There's like tents, and they're operating inside there. It was a restaurant that looked like MASH.
Okay.
But there's a line. This is not rocket science. So I show up in his yard, and they're like, Vegas Police, we don't really know what to do here. I said, but you've got a line in your backyard. If a person has a line in their backyard for al pastor tacos, what would a normal human being do? I'd be like, let's get a restaurant.
I'm going to go check it out.
So we got a restaurant a week. I threw all the money at them. They're like, we need this. I'm like, take the money. We need that. Take the money. We need this. And then I looked at the two of them and I said, I think this is fair. Okay? I said, El Güero, you are basically the world champion of tacos. You're like, Otani, is that the name of the baseball player? Of tacos. You're unbelievable. 24 years experience. You worked at Tacos El Gordo forever. I said, let's divide up the company like this, because everybody in social media wants to know if Vegas Police is taking advantage of these people. I said, El Güero, you take half the company. Jose the Taco Guy, you and I, we're like brothers. We're together. We'll take the other half of the company. So I ended up with 25% of it.
What are you doing for lunch tomorrow, Gary?
I think I'm going to go have a taco in somebody's
backyard. We'll meet you there for lunch tomorrow.
Okay.
All right, so talk about, because we can't keep you all day.
Go ahead.
You got steps to get in. And
I go all day. I could go forever.
I know you could. And content to make. But I noticed you were at Durango before their opening.